So the suffix blast, as used in the term osteoblast, means what? Well, let's look at the book. No. Okay, so we're talking about joints and limbs. Blast is a cell that will form bone tissue. Blast is a cell that breaks down, but blast forms bone tissue, a cell that will form bone tissue. Okay. So you say a cell that will form bone tissue. I guess. I don't know if they wanted all that, but that was a lot of words. Um, okay, they just wanted the stem, okay, so let me show you something. Go back to the reading. I want to show you something. When they ask you that, they're looking for this thing in brackets. Okay, they usually don't ask you to fill in the blank, but when they do, they're looking for this bracket piece here. So blast itself means bud, like the start of something, like a flower. So if it's an osteoblast is a cell that will form bone tissue. So they're looking for the word in brackets. We'll know for next time. Okay, go ahead and go back. All the following are functions of the skeletal system except support and protection. Yeah, your bones do that, or your skeletal system does that. Production of blood cells, the storage of minerals, and the conduction of signals. Okay, let's look at it. Combining elements from Greek and Latin, skeleton means dried framework. However, the dry specimens you study in the lab don't show you the true living nature of bones. Like all other organs and tissues, they are supplied with nerves and blood. The obvious functions of bones are support, movement, and protection, but they're also instrumental in blood cell production and mineral storage. In addition to bones, the skeletal system also consists of the tendons, ligaments, and cartilage associated with joints. Like in all vertebrates, the human skeleton is strong enough to bear weight, yet light enough to allow movement. But the human skeleton is uniquely adapted for walking on two legs and for grasping with the hands. Two major divisions are recognized in the skeletal system: the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. Okay, go to the question. So, all the following are functions of the skeletal system except conduction of signals. That's the only thing the skeletal system doesn't do. Yeah. Okay, next. How many bones are in the human body? Okay, let's see. Let's continue on. Okay, the adult human skeleton has 206 bones They vary greatly in size, shape, and function. 206 is our answer there. Check. Bones are categorized by blank as being long, short, flat, or irregular. Okay, let's read and see the word they want. Bones may be classified according to their shape, long, short, flat, or irregular. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be shape. So go to the question. And we're going to say shape. Nice. Okay. A long bone has an expanded portion at each end called an epiphysis and a shaft called the blank. So we need to look up the long bones. Long bones have longitudinal ends. Okay. The structure of a long bone. The femur, the bone in the thigh, is the classic example of the structure of a long bone. At each end of a long bone is an expanded portion called an epiphysis, which articulates or forms a joint with another bone. The epiphysis is that is the nearest to the attachment to the trunk of the body. It's called the proximal epiphysis. The epiphysis that is farthest from the trunk of the body is called the distal epiphysis. The outer surface of the articulating portion of the epiphysis is coated with a thin layer, hyaline cartilage called articular cartilage. The shaft of the bone between the epiphyses is called the diaphysis. The shaft between it. Okay, located between the epiphysis and the diaphysis is the epiphyseal epiphyseal plate, also called the growth plate. It is a region of cartilage where a bone grows in length. Okay, but we're looking for shaft and okay. Keep going. I think it might be another. Okay, this is. Go back to the question again. I'm not sure what they're looking for. Called an epiphysis and a shaft called the. Okay, that's going to be, I think that's going to be diaphysis. DIA. PHY. SIS. Diaphysis. I think that's what I read. Okay, now this is the way we're used to. We saw this question before. Do you remember it?
I think it was blast.
That's right. It's blast. Mm-hmm. Good. Nice. Okay. Which of the following are true about bones? Okay. They are composed of dead tissue. No, they're living tissue. They store minerals. So they store minerals. That's true. Store minerals like calcium. They support and protect soft tissues. That's the function of bones. So yes, they support and protect soft tissue. And they house blood producing cells. I don't know if they're, let's look up. Yeah, they do house blood producing cells. I'm not sure if they're avascular. So let's read about it first. Don't think they are. Okay, let's see. See, um, they're supplied with nerves and blood. They have nerves and they have blood. The obvious functions also consist of the tendons, ligaments, and okay, keep going. Scroll past that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I would just go for those three. I would just go for those three. See if we're right. Yeah. Because they have a blood supply, so they wouldn't be avascular. Avascular means they don't have blood vessels. And they have a blood supply. They have blood producing cells. So, okay, let's continue. All right, match each arrow on the left with the bone structure on the right. Okay, where are our words? Epiphysis. Okay, we didn't read about everything, but the epiphysis is on the ends. So let's see what A is pointing at. Because I can't see. Okay, A is pointing at the part between the two ends. Um, let's see if there's a diagram in your book. Let's read it and see if there's a diagram to match it. Okay, yeah. So here we have the proximal. Okay, so they have more pieces than the diaphysis is the part in the middle. The the endosteum is that inside portion, and the periosteum is the piece of the plate sticking up. So we're looking at, do you have a picture of the epiphysis? Did it say something of, okay, that's okay. Okay, and epiphyseal line. Okay, so let's go back to the epiphyseal lines are the ones that you can see on the boat. Go to the question. Okay, so A is going to be the diaphysis, the second one. B is going to be the ep, epiph, the, go down and it's going to be the epiphyt, ep, bleh, epiphysis, the first one on your list is going to be under B. Epiphysis, that's what I was trying to say. C is going to be something we haven't read, but we saw. That's the, I forget if that's the, I think that's the endosteum. I think that's the endosteum. Because the periosteum is the thing that's sticking out. That's D, that little thing that's sticking out. The periosteum is D, and then the epiphyseal line is E. That's that's E, and the periosteum is D, I think. I think we're good. Yep. Nice. There are, okay. Do you remember how many bones there were? We had this question too. They
I
asked us.
think it's 206.
Uh-huh, that's right. It's 206 bones. Yep. Okay. All right. Now the tip of the arrow is indicating that's the articular cartilage because it's attached to the hip bone right here. This is your hip bone attachment. I think it's meant to be pointing to the articular cartilage where it comes together with the hip bone. Bones that do not fit the categories of long, short, or flat are placed in the category termed, I forget the word for it, like size something bone. I don't remember the word. You'll have to read it and see. Um, okay, let's see. Bones may be classified as long, short, flat, or irregular. That's some irregular. Okay, does it say anything about bones that aren't? Let's go back to the question. That's irregular. 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 A bone is completely enclosed by a covering of connective tissue called a covering of connective tissue. You want to look it up? What's the covering called? So, okay, scroll down a little more. Okay, so the end of a long bone, the way there, okay, the shaft of the bone located between, also called the growth plate. Okay, keep going because they haven't told us about the covering yet. So scroll down under the picture. A tough covering of dense connective tissue called the periosteum completely encloses the bone except for the articular cartilage on the bone ends. The periosteum is firmly attached to the bone, and periosteal fibers are continuous with the connecting ligaments and tendons. The periosteum also helps form and repair bone tissue. So the covering is the periosteum. It worked. Good job. Long bones have enlarged ends that are called what? And are covered with what? Okay, so um okay, so the femur is the classic example of the structure of a long bone. At each end of a long bone is an expanded portion called the epiphysis, plural epiphyses. Okay, the outer surface of the articulating portion of the epiphysis is covered with a layer of hyaline cartilage called articular cartilage. So the epiphyses are the ends and they're covered with articular cartilage. Let's go back to the question. Okay, so it's, yeah. Good job. Nice. Next question. The body of a mature bone cell. Okay, we haven't read this yet. The body of a mature bone cell occupies a small chamber called, okay, recall from chapter 5 that bone cells called osteocytes occupy very small bony chambers called lacuna. The lacuna are within the bony matrix of the lamella, which form concentric circles around the central canals. So the bone cells are in lacuna, and the lacuna are in the lamella. Okay. So let's see what the question says. So lacuna, Lacunae, lacuna. Okay. Okay, you know this one. What is
Would it be the first one?
That's right, it's bud. Uh-huh. Good job. Okay. Mature bone cells are called, is that osteoblast? Let's read about it, but I think they're called osteoblasts. Let's see. The extracellular matrix of bone tissue is called, okay, largely collagen and inorganic salts. Collagen gives bone strength and resilience, and inorganic salts make it hard and resistant to crushing. Okay. Okay, but that doesn't tell me what a mature maybe it's osteocyte. Keep going. Maybe it says something else. In compact bone, the osteocytes and layers of cellular material, and the layers of extracellular matrix concentrically clustered around a canal form a cylinder-shaped unit called an ostia. Many osteons form. Okay, let's see. I would say osteocytes is the answer. Osteocytes. Let's go to the question. So you need the S on the end of the word. Osteocytes. Osteocytes. Okay. Okay. A is the diaphysis. A is the diaphysis. DIA. PHY. HYSIS. And B is the I forget the name of it. Is that the it's not the epithelial plate. Look at the diagram again. And we'll see what it is. The picture. Scroll up to the picture so we can look. Okay, so the diaphysis. Keep going down to the bottom because we're looking at the bottom. That's called, okay, this is called the distal epiphysis or the epiphysis. Okay. Okay, let's go to the questions. And B is I don't know if they want the distal epiphysis or just the epiphysis, but I would put the distal epiphysis and see distal, DISTAL, and then another word, epiphysis, EPI. PHYSIS. Now they might just want epiphysis, but let's see what they tell us. Okay, they took it. They would have taken either one of them. Okay, sometimes it's hard to tell what they want. All righty. Microscopic canals that connect the small chambers in bony tissue. Okay, now we haven't read about the connecting chambers yet. We read about the lacuna where the cells live and the lamella that are around them. But okay, we read that already. Keep going. Cellular, scroll up a little bit. Central canals extend longitudinally, connecting the perforating canals. I would say it's central canals for the question you asked. Well, it says microscopic canals. Let me see. Let me look it up because I'm not sure. Microscopic canals that connect the small chambers in bony tissue. I'm not sure about that one. Hold on. Microscopic canals that connect. Oh no, it's okay. So osteoblasts make the matrix of bone which calcifies and hardens. This entraps the mature bone cells, osteocytes, in a little chamber called lacunae or lacuna. The osteocytes receive their nutrition from the central canal via little canals called canaliculi. Canaliculi. So the microscopic canals are they are central canals, but I think they're referring to the separate individual micro. So I think it's canaliculi here. Change it and let's see what they tell you. Because the central canals are bigger and the canaliculi are microscopic. So let me see what they say. Yeah, okay. When one bone articulates with another, like the hip bone connects to the thigh bone kind of thing. When a bone articulates with another, a layer of tissue called blank protects the underlying bone. This layer is also called blank. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, keep going. Okay, so at the end of each long bone is the epiphysis, which articulates with another bone. The epiphysis is coated with a thin layer of hyaline cartilage called articular cartilage. So I would say it's the epiphysis is protected by the articular cartilage. Let's look at the question. A layer of tissue called um, okay, let me look. Okay, so a thin layer of hyaline cartilage that covers the entire articulating surface of each bone. In places where one bone articulates or meets with another, it is protected by a thin layer of tissue called the articular cartilage. This tissue is also known as the epiphysis. The articular cartilage acts as a shock absorber and reduces the friction. Okay. So I would say hyaline and articular cartilage. The last one. It's the same thing. So the hyaline cartilage protects it from it. Yeah. Concentric circles of bone tissue around the central canal are called. Okay, go ahead and look up the word. Concentric layers. Okay, so the lacuna. Okay, so the second word, you see this lamella, Lamella, forms concentric circles around central canals. The lamella form concentric circles around central canals. So the tubes, okay, let me see. Concentric circles, those are the lamella of bone tissue around the central canal. Are, yeah, they're lamella. Lamelae. I don't remember if it's one L or two L's. The two, yeah, it's two L's. Okay. Lamella. Okay, good. The periosteum is located blank and plays a role in blank. Okay, let's look it up. Look at the periosteum. You need to scroll down. Okay, a tough covering of dense connective tissue called the periosteum also helps to form and repair bone. Okay, let's see. I would say the periosteum is located around bones because it wraps the bone and it plays a role in growth and repair. So the last option. Okay. Two prominent components of the extracellular matrix are the protein blank and inorganic blank. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, scroll down. The central canal contains blood vessels and nerve fibers surrounded by loose connective tissue. Yeah, I didn't see. Let me see the question again. Okay, hold on. Two prominent components. of the bones extracellular matrix. Uh, Let me see. But first, I'm going to have to plug in my computer. Give me a second. Mm, Having a little finding. Let's see. Um, Two prominent components. Oops. The bones. Two prominent components of the bone's extracellular matrix. Extracellular. Are inorganic. Okay. Okay, what I'm seeing is inorganic salts and collagen fibers. So I would say Collagen goes in the first blank. COLLAGEN. And inorganic salts. So SALTS. Collagen fibers. Collagen proteins and inorganic salts. Okay. Okay, we had this question before. What about lacuna? Lacuna are those are the small chambers in bone that contain osteocytes. Lacuna. Small chambers in bone that contain osteocytes. Hmm? Okay, now this one we haven't done yet. The abdominal and internal reproductive organs are supported by bones of the blank. And we need to read it. Okay, let's look it up. Okay. Strong enough to support the body's weight. Okay, so the bones of the skull protect the eyes, ears, and brain. Bones of the rib cage and shoulder girdle protect the heart and lungs, whereas the bones of the pelvic girdle protect the lower abdominal. Okay, so it's these two words, pelvic and girdle. So one word in each box. Pelvic girdle is what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. GIRDE. Good. Good. Nice. Okay. All right. I think you know this one. Bone cells are called
I think it would be the second one.
osteocytes. Very good. Nice. Good. Hematopoiesis is the process of what? Okay, I don't know because we haven't seen that word yet. The process of blood cell formation called hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis begins in the yolk sac, which lies outside the human embryo. Later in development, blood cells are manufactured in the liver and spleen, and still later, they form in bone marrow. Hematopoiesis is the process of blood cell formation. let's go to the questions. So the answer there is blood cell formation. Mhm. The body of an osteocyte lies in a space called a you can go click on it. So bone cells called osteocytes occupy very small bony chambers called lacuna. Lacunae, lacuna. A function of bone is to store some blank, which is vital to muscle contraction, nerve cell function, and blood clotting. Okay, I don't think we read this yet. This part, because it says, okay, let's see. Vital metabolic processes require calcium. The extracellular matrix of bone tissue is rich in calcium salts, mostly in the form of calcium phosphate. When the blood is low in calcium, parathyroid hormone stimulates osteoclasts to break down bone tissue, releasing calcium salts from the extracellular matrix into the blood. Calcitonin, a hormone released from the thyroid gland when the blood calcium levels are high, inhibits osteoclast activity. The effect of calcitonin on osteoblasts is unclear. Thyroid gland, okay. The chapters that they cited, chapter 11, sections 11.5 and 11.6, describes the details of this homeostatic mechanism. Maintaining sufficient blood calcium levels is important in muscle contraction, nerve cell function, blood clotting, and other physiological processes. So calcium. Mm-hmm. Good. Nice. In an osteon, concentric circles called blank are arranged around the central canal. The circles around them are are they lamella or are they canaliculi? I think they're lamella. The lamella are the arranged around the central canal. Try it, lamella. right here. I think it's lamella because the canaliculi are the vessels. It's not the surrounding. Yeah. What is a component of bone matrix and that produced what is a component of bone matrix that participates in muscle cell contraction? Okay, that's calcium. We just read about it. That participates in muscle cell contraction. Yeah, we just read that a minute ago. Okay. Okay, now we've done this before. Do you remember? The extracellular matrix of bone tissue is largely composed of what two components? The extracellular matrix of bone tissue.
Going to be the second one.
I think so, yeah. Oops, it was collagen and calcium. Okay, they're looking for what they're looking for what the bone is made from. But I thought that too. Calcium, collagen and calcium phosphate. Okay. All right. We'll have to. Okay. This is pretty easy. What structure is protected by the skull? The brain. Yep, that's good. Osteoblasts are cells that break down bone matrix to release calcium, produce red blood cells, produce white blood cells, or deposit bony matrix around themselves. You might have to look that up. Okay, let's see. Okay, we need to know what deposit. Okay, so it says the flat bones of the skull are intramembranous bone. They develop in the fetus from membrane-like layers of unspecialized or relatively undifferentiated connective tissues at the sites of future bones. Dense networks of blood vessels are contained within these connective tissues. Some of the partially differentiated progenitor cells enlarge and further differentiate into bone-forming cells called osteoblasts. The osteoblasts deposit bony matrix around themselves, forming spongy bone tissue in all directions within the layers of connective tissue. When the extracellular matrix completely surrounds osteoblasts, they are called osteocytes. Eventually, cells of the membranous tissue that persist outside of the developing bone give rise to the periosteum. Osteoblasts inside of the periosteum form a layer of compact bone over the surface of the newly formed spongy bone. So they deposit bony matrix around themselves. That's what they do. Good. Good. Blood cells are produced by a process called hepatogenesis, meiosis, hematopoiesis, and or ossification. Okay, I don't know the name for the process, so we have to look it up. Okay, let's read about it. Keep going. Okay. Okay, yeah, they're formed by hematopoiesis. Okay, the process of blood cell formation is hematopoiesis. Poiesis. And so on. So I would say hemat, the third one, hematopoiesis. That's hard for me to say. Hematopoiesis. Okay. Most bones of the skeleton are intermembranous bones. I don't know. I know. What the book will tell us. Okay. Um, no, because if you look down below in the middle of the page, it says most of the bones of the skeleton are endochondral bones. They develop in the fetus from masses of hyaline cartilage shaped like future bony structures. So they're not the other kind, whatever the other question said, they're endochondral. So that's false. Which component stored in bone? Okay, that's calcium. Calcium is vital for metabolic processes. Okay. The blank are the cells that dissolve the inorganic components. The blank are the cells that dissolve the inorganic components of the calcified bone matrix. Okay, so let's look at that. I think that might be the middle word, but let's check. Let's check and see. Okay, that's what osteocytes do. That's what, okay, wait a second. I'm looking at breaking down bones. The epiphysis of the developing bone remain cartilaginous and continue to grow. Later, secondary ossification centers appear. Okay, keep going. This is about new cells. In time, bone reabsorbing cells, called osteoclasts with a C, osteoclasts, break down the calcified extracellular matrix. So osteoclasts are the ones that break it down. Okay. The blank are the cells that dissolve. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so we need 3 roles of calcium in the body. Okay. So it's important in blood clot formation. I think, yeah. And okay. That's one. It's important in blood cell formation. So hold on, the three roles of calcium. Just use, I don't know what that all was there. Let me get rid of it, whatever it is. Oops. Are you there, Daniela? Hello. And so they clotting blood, sending and receiving nerve signals. Daniela? Two main components of the extracellular matrix. Okay, so two main components of extracellular matrix. And that is okay, so the extracellular matrix, that's the one that's collagen and elastin. I think those are the ones that are collagen. They're not talking about the bone itself. They're talking about collagen. Yeah, collagen fibers and elastin. Yeah, let's try that. Is that right? Okay, we got collagen right, but it's inorganic salts. Okay, let's review it says review a resource at the top or something down below. Okay, select the concept resource. So let's see. Okay, yeah, here. The extracellular matrix of bone tissue is largely collagen and inorganic salts. Calcium. Okay, so they've asked you this as inorganic salts before, and they've asked you about calcium phosphate. So if they say collagen fibers and calcium phosphate, that would also work. The extracellular matrix of bone tissue is largely collagen and inorganic salts, calcium phosphate. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Cells that deposit and form bone. Those are, I think those are osteoblasts. Let's review it, but I think it's osteoblasts. I think that's osteoblasts that do that. Yeah, some of the partially differentiated and large, and they form osteoblasts, depositing bony matrix around themselves, forming spongy bone tissue. Those are osteoblasts. 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 Okay. When does a long bone stop growing in length? I don't know the answer to this question. I don't think we've talked about it yet. Um, Eventually, the cells of the membranous tissues that persist outside the developing bone give rise to, okay. Okay, I need to figure out when, okay, keep going. I think we read this part, but we haven't, okay, this is talking about how the bone develops. Keep going, keep going. Let's see. In time, bone reabsorbing cells, okay, as these cells enlarge, the cartilaginous, same time calcium cells. In time, bone reabsorbing cells called osteoclasts break down the calcified exterior matrix. These large multinucleated cells originate in bone marrow when certain single nucleated white blood cells fuse. Osteoclasts secrete an acid that dissolves the inorganic compounds, the inorganic components. After osteoclasts remove the matrix, bone osteoblasts invade. A long bone continues to lengthen while the cartilaginous cells of the epiphyseal plates are active. However, once the ossification centers of the diaphysis and the epiphyses meet, and the epiphyseal plates ossify, lengthening is no longer possible. So once the epiphyseal plates ossify, lengthening is no longer possible. So it's when the epiphyseal plates ossify. Okay, so go to the questions. When the the third one, when the epiphyseal plates ossify completely. Okay. Good, that's what we're in. Most bones of the skeleton are endochondral. Yeah, the middle one. Endochondral bones. Okay. Compact bone deposited on the outside just beneath the blank causes the bone to thicken. Okay, let's look at it. Let's read about it. Um, it needed to thicken. Go up a little bit. I think it's before that. Let me see what the question is. Let me see. It says, Can you go to the question again? I need to look up the compact bone deposited just being on the outside. Okay, so okay, periosteum. Okay, that's what I thought. The periosteum. So this is periosteum, periosteum. Yeah. Okay, next question. Which are bone reabsorbing cells that secrete acid? Those are osteoclasts. Osteoclasts dissolve the bone matrix. Continuous continuous remodeling of bone occurs throughout the lifespan with blank reabsorbing bone matrix and blank replacing it. I would say osteoclasts. So OSTEO. CLASTS, reabsorbing bone matrix, and osteoblasts. It's the same word but with a B. So OSTEO, B as in boy, LASTS, and osteoblasts replacing it. Yeah. What is a component of bone matrix that, okay, that's calcium. Because remember, it's made from calcium and phosphate. So it's calcium. What is a component of bone matrix that participates in muscle cell contraction, nerve cell conduction, and blood clot formation? That's calcium. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's see. The bones of the blank skeleton are, okay, I don't know that we've gotten to this yet. Let's look at it. Okay, so we're looking at, for purposes of study, it is convenient to divide the skeleton into two major portions, an axial skeleton and an appendicular skeleton. Okay, so let's scroll down because they have the skeletons, but I need to see which bones are which. They have all the bones listed. The axial skeleton includes the skull. Okay, so we got the bones listed there, which you probably have to learn. And then the appendicular skeleton. My guess is that's going to be okay, so the axial skeleton consists of the bony and cartilaginous portions that support and protect the organs of the head, neck, and trunk. The skull, the hyoid bone, The vertebral column, the discs, the coccyx. So, okay. Go to the questions. So this is the axial skeleton. AXIAL. Axial skeleton. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. This is collagen and calcium phosphate. It's it consists of calcium and collagen and calcium phosphate. This is a question that we missed earlier. The second one. It's giving us this random. Okay, indicate the bones that belong. Okay, we haven't looked at the appendicular skeleton yet. So we need to look at the appendicular skeleton to know. So we need to read about before we can classify the bone. We want the appendicular skeleton. Okay, so let's see. I gotta position myself. Give me a minute, please. Oh, okay, let's see. So let's take a look. Um, the appendicular skeleton consists of the bones of the upper and lower limbs and the bones that anchor the limbs to the axial skeleton. So the pectoral girdle is formed by a scapula or shoulder blade and a clavicle or collarbone on both sides of the body. The pectoral girdle connects the lower limbs. Okay. Each limb consists of a humerus or arm bone, two forearm bones. Okay, so basically it's your shoulders and your okay. The pelvic girdle is formed by two hip bones, and to the sacrum, the hip bones, sacrum and the coccyx. From the pelvis, the lower limb consists of a femur, a thigh bone, and a fibula and a foot. Okay, so let's look at the question. So anything that would be upper and lower limbs. Okay, so the clavicle, the I would say the ulna because that's in your wrist. And then the phalanges, those would be your finger bones. Because the other ones, the skull, the ribs, and the vertebra are the like the axis of your body. Let's try that. Yeah. Okay. A long bone that continues to grow in length as long as the cells of the, oh, okay. They gave us this, but I don't remember the word they used. So go and read about it so I can find the word again. I think it's that word that I have trouble saying. The epiphyseal, whatever it is. Um, keep going. I think it's a little further down on the page. I remember reading it. It's underneath the pictures. Yeah, so let's see. A long bone continues to lengthen while the cartilaginous cells of the, here it is, ep, epiphyseal plates. Epiphyseal plates are active. Epiphyseal plates. EPIPYPHYSEAL. Okay, so it's epiphyseal plates. So let's go to the question. So the first word is epiphyseal. EPIPHYSEAL. And the second word is plates. PLATES. Incomplete intramembranous ossification in an infant skull results in the presence of soft spots called what? I don't know. We didn't read it yet. A human skull. Whoops. Okay, hold on. Whoa. Uh-huh. A human skull consists of 22 bones, except for the lower jaw. The skull bones are firmly interlocked along immovable joints called sutures. Eight of these interlocked bones make up the cranium, and 14 form the facial skeleton. 3 other bones in each middle ear are discussed in 10. Okay, so then scroll down past all the pictures of because it didn't tell us about some cranial bone. Okay, the cranium encloses and protects the brain, which we knew, and its structure provides attachments for muscles that make chewing and head movements possible. Some of the cranial bones contain air-filled cavities called parasonal sinuses paranasal sinuses that are lined with mucous membranes and are connected by passageways to the nasal cavity. Sinuses reduce the skull's weight and increase the intensity of the voice by serving as resonant sound chambers. Okay, keep going. Frontal bones. Okay. Parietal bones. Okay, this is just a kind of, okay, I'm sure they're going to ask us about this, but that's not what the question is. Keep going. This is the different bones. Keep going. I want to see what it says about babies. I think it probably says something further down about it. Uh, uh, because I need something before the sutures form. Okay, this is the interior, and this is the dissection, and this is the maxillae. Okay. I don't see anything yet. Okay, keep going. Lacrimal bones, mandibles. Ah, here we go. Here we go. At birth, the skull is incompletely developed, with fibrous membranes connecting the cranial bones. These membranous areas of incomplete intramembranous ossification are called fontanelles, or more commonly soft spots. They permit some movement between the bones so that the developing skull is partially compressible and can slightly change shape. This enables an infant's skull to more easily pass through the birth canal. Eventually, the fontanelles close as the cranial bones grow together. So fontanelles, Fontanelles, fontanelles. That's the word you're looking for. Fontanelles. N. Yeah. All right. Good job. How does a long bone grow in width? Okay, I think that's deposit of new bone. Okay. How does a new bone grow in width? They add tissue to the periosteum. So that's going to be deposit of new bone under the periosteum of the diaphysis. The last one. Mm-hmm. Okay. The spine is composed of bones called blank and cartilaginous pads called what? So what do we call your spine bone? Do you know what your spine bones are? They're your vertebra or your vertebrae. And you have discs, cartilaginous discs. So those are, I think it's, yeah, vertebrae. Yeah. Mm. Bone remodeling occurs continuously. Okay. So which ones reabsorb bone tissue? Do you remember?
Think it's osteoblasts.
The ones that reabsorb bone tissue are osteoclasts. The osteoclasts reabsorb. They're the ones that break it down. Osteoclasts. The second one. Osteoblasts are the ones that replace it. Okay, so the arrow in the picture is pointing to the blank of the vertebra. I don't know. Let's look it up and we'll find out what it is. Scroll down. Okay, it's called I guess it's called the body. The vertebra and the vertebra, yes, in different regions of the vertebral column have special characteristics, but they also have features in common. A typical vertebra has a drum-shaped body, which forms the thick anterior portion of the bone. So that's called the body. The body of the vertebra. It's just called the body. The body. That you're right that it's part of the vertebra, but it's called the body. Mm-hmm. They're just talking about the middle piece. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the body. Okay, so do you remember which skeleton this is?
I think it's axial.
That's right. That's the axial skeleton. Good job. Mm-hmm. Nice. All right. Next question. In the neck, there are 7. Those are cervical. cervical vertebra. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, now what's this skeleton? It's not the axial skeleton. Do you remember?
I think it's vertebrae.
No, the vertebra are the ones that are on your spine. This is it's pointing to a bunch of stuff. This is the appendicular skeleton. Look up the spelling because I don't have the spelling of it. See right here, appendicular, APPENDICULAR, the appendicular skeleton. Okay, let's see what else it says. Um, the thoracic region of the vertebral column consists of how many thoracic vertebrae? Okay, I don't know how many thoracic vertebrae there are. I know there are 7 cervical, but I don't know how many thoracic ones. The 12 thoracic vertebrae. Okay, so there are 12. There are 12 thoracic vertebrae. So questions? 12, they want the number. Good. Okay, now we have to identify. Okay, so it's called a fontanelle. FONTANEL. FONTANEL. There you go. Mm-hmm. Good job. How many and what kind of vertebra are found in the small of the back? How many and what kind? Okay, we have to look that up. How many and what kind of vertebra are found in the small of the back? Okay, 5 lumbar vertebrae are in the small of the back. These vertebrae are adapted with larger and stronger bodies to support more weight. So 5 lumbar vertebrae are in the small of the back. 5 lumbar vertebrae. Good job. Nice. The bones that make up the backbone are okay. I think it's just vertebra, but let's read it and see. I think it's just vertebra is all they're looking for. Yeah, see a typical vertebra. So it, it's E. That first A should be an E, I think. And then there should be an E on the end of it, I think. Yeah, see, the vertebrae in different regions of the vertebral column have special characteristics. This is a single one. When it's plural, it has an E on it. So, yeah, I think we need the one with the E on it. Yeah, they would have taken either one here. Okay, so the base of the vertebral column is composed of blank, so we need a number of fused vertebra, and is called the sacrum. So we need to read about that. The sacrum is a triangular structure composed of 5 fused vertebra that form the base of the vertebral column. So 5 fused vertebrae. See it? Mm-hmm. That's right. That's what we read. Good. The portion of the, okay, do you remember? They had you do this as fill in the blank last time. Now they're having you find the word.
Maybe body.
That's right. It's called the body. Good job. Nice. Okay. The most inferior portion of the vertebral column is a set of 4 fused vertebrae called the what? I don't know the answer to that question. So the coccyx or tailbone is the largest part of the vertebral sorry, it's not the largest, it's the lowest part of the vertebral column and is typically composed of 4 fused vertebrae. Ligaments attach it to the margins of the sacral hiatus. Okay. So that's the coccyx. 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 Okay, let's go to Coccyx. Coccyx. Good job. Next question. The neck, okay, do you remember how many are in the neck?
I think it's 5.
7 cervical. There are 7 cervical vertebrae. Yeah, they're cervical and there are 7 of them. The bones in the upper limb include, okay, the hand bones, carpals, metacarpals, phalanges, and the blank, blank, and blank. Okay, don't know that, so we have to look at it. The bones in the upper limb, so we have to read about it. Okay, so the bones in the upper limb form the arm, forearm, and hand. They also provide attachments for muscles. These bones include, okay, so they gave you carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. So I'm thinking it's humerus, radius, and ulna, maybe. Let's look at it and see. I would say humerus, 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 then radius, Radius, and ulna, Ulna. Let's try it. Yeah. Okay. How many thoracic vertebrae do we have? You see it?
Yeah.
Oh, thoracic vertebrae. Good job. Okay. The bone formed in the upper arm, located between the shoulder and the elbow, is the you can read about it. I don't think we read about all of the bones yet. So you're talking about the humerus is a long bone that extends from the scapula to the elbow. So the humerus is your upper arm bone, basically. The humerus from your scapula to your, so that's the humerus, Humerus, humerus. Okay. Okay. The small of the back has 5. They are, I think those are sacral. Sacral, sacral. You're missing a letter. Sacral, sacral. Oops, they wanted lumbar. Okay. It's a different word. I think the sacrum is below that. That was my mistake. Lumbar vertebra. Okay. Okay, how I don't know. I think it's 5, but let me check. Let me check it because I have trouble with the numbers of the bone. The sacrum, yeah, 5 fused vertebrae that form the base of the vertebral column. So yeah, there are 5 of those. There are 7 neck ones. There are 5 sacral vertebrae. Okay. The image of the 2 bones. The image shows the 2 bones of the lower arm. The ulna is located or indicated by blank, and the radius is shown by, okay, I don't know which is which. So we're gonna have to look at it and see. So, whoops, we need the picture of the bone. Where is it? Do we have a picture of the, go up a little bit? Maybe you, okay, yeah. So the radius is the one that's a little bit shorter, and the ulna is longer and straighter. The radius is a little bit curved, it looks like. So let's go back to your picture. So the radius is going to be Y. That's the second box. No, second box. And then, so the letter Z is your ulna. Yeah, yeah. What is the anatomical name for the tailbone? The anatomical name for the tailbone is what? The coccyx. It's the last one on your list. Okay. Good job. Next question. The bones of the lower limb include all of the following except the bones of the lower limb. So that would be like your lower leg, your tarsals, your metatarsals. Okay, it's not your phalanges. So it's not the second one. We're picking out the ones that are missing. So it's, I mean, the ones that don't fit. It's the phalanges because they're in your hands. And then your ulna. I think those are the only two. Your ulna and your phalanges. So the phalanges, the second, no, the tarsals are there because that's your foot bones, your tarsals and your metatarsals. So phalanges, no. And ulna, no. I think those are the only two that are not there. Oh, let's review it. I thought we had, let's review it because I thought it was bones of the, okay, so bones of the framework of each thigh, leg, and foot. They include a femur. So femur should be checked. I mean, femur should remain unchecked because we're looking for the ones that don't fit. Femur, tibia, fibula. Oh, they have, your feet have phalanges. I stand corrected. A femur, a tibia, a fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. Okay. So the one that doesn't fit is ulna, which we knew because we know that's in your arm. So the ulna is the one that doesn't fit. And then that's okay. Ulna. Good. The bones of the upper limb include the humerus, the radius, okay, radius, radius, ulna, carpals, carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges, phalanges. Nice. The longest bone of the body, extending from the hip to the knee, is the femur, Femur. I'm pretty sure. Let's review it before we submit it, but I'm pretty sure the femur, yeah. I knew that from statistics because we had an example about the length of the femur bone in the body. Yeah, femur is correct. All righty, let's continue. Which bone is located? Okay, we did this one before. Which bone is located between the scapula and the elbow? We did this one before.
I think it would be the ulna.
No, that's in your lower arm. Your upper arm bone is your humerus. Your humerus is the upper bone. The one that connects your shoulder to your elbow, that's your humerus. The radius and the ulna are in your lower arm that control the movement of your wrist. So, yeah, okay, that's your humerus. Next question. The medial, okay, I don't know this one. The medial whatever that word says, located on the blank, forms a prominence on the inner ankle. Don't know. Have no idea. So we have to review it. At the distal end of the femur, so the end of the femur that is furthest away, the distal end of the femur, two rounded processes called the lateral and medial condyles articulate with the tibia of the leg. The patella or kneecap also articulates with the femur on its distal anterior surface. The patella is located on a tendon that passes anteriorly over the knee. The tibia or shin bone is the larger of the two leg bones and is located on the medial side. Its proximal end is expanded into medial and lateral condyles, which have concave surfaces and articulate with the condyles of the femur. Below the condyles, on the anterior surface, is a process called the tibial tuberosity. It provides an attachment to the patellar ligament, which is a continuation of the patellar tendon. Okay, but that's not about your ankle. We need to keep going. Okay, we're getting warmer because we need to find out about the lateral malleolus. At its distal end, the tibia expands, forming a prominence on the inner ankle called the medial malleolus, which is an attachment for ligaments. So let's see, what's the question now? Go to the question about the medial malleolus located on the distal end of the tibia. That's the third option. The distal end of the tibia forms a prominence on the inner ankle. Okay. There are okay. I'm gonna look it up. I'm not gonna guess. I don't know how many lumbar vertebrae we have. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's more, but let's read it and see. I know we have 5 sacral, but I don't remember how many lumbar. Okay, yeah. So this is interesting. So the lumbar has 5 vertebrae on the small of the back, and then they have 5 sacral vertebrae that form the base. So these are both 5. 5 each, 5 lumbar and 5 sacral. Okay. Let's go to the question. So there are 5 lumbar vertebrae. They want the number here, the number 5. Okay, cool. Okay. The tarsal bone. Okay, I don't know the answer to this yet. The tarsal bone that articulates with the tibia and the fibula to make a freely movable ankle joint. I don't know the answer to that question. We'll have to look it up. To make a freely movable. Okay. The foot is made up of the ankle and the toes. The ankle or tarsus is composed of 7 tarsal bones, and one of these bones, the talus, can move freely where it joins the tibia and fibula. The talus, Talus. The talus. 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 Okay. Okay. The bone indicated by the Y, that's the curved bone, that's the radius. So the Y is the radius. IUS, And the straight bone, that's the ulna, ULNA. Good. Which bones belong to the lower limb? Okay, so now we're gonna check all the ones that belong to the lower limb. So the femur gets a check. The fibula, the tibia, the tarsals, and the phalanges. Because the other 3 bones, the radius, the humerus, and the ulna, the humerus is your upper arm bone, and the radius and ulna are in your, so those should all be lower limb bones. Okay, go ahead and check it. Good job. The anatomical name for the thigh bone. You remember? There it is. Good. Nice. The prominence in the inner ankle that I don't know. I have no clue. Prominence of the inner ankle that is part of the tibia is called B. Let's read it and find out. The prominence of the inner ankle. Okay, keep going because we need to go to the ankle bone. This is higher than that. The prominence. Okay, here it is, right here. It's the medial, goes in the first box, and then the malleolus. Medial malleolus. The medial malleolus. I don't know all the proper names for all these bones. Okay, go ahead and go back. Okay, so it's medial malleolus, MALLEOLUS. 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 Mm-hmm. Good job. The talus articulates, I have to look it up. I don't remember. I know it articulates with the tibia, but I don't remember if it articulates with anything else. Let's read about it. We need to find the talus. Okay, it joins the tibia and the fibula. Tibia, sorry. Tibia and fibula. Tibia and fibula. So that means it's going to be tibia and fibula. I thought there was a tibula too. Okay, good job. And we're done. Nice. Nice. Okay. I need to wrap it up for today. I'm gonna get back to you about tomorrow. I have to get with my student and see what time, because I have to be, it's not, I don't have to be too far away, but I have to be there for a couple of hours. I'm gonna check with her and let you know this afternoon, okay?
Okay.
What time I'll be able to meet tomorrow. Are you available in the afternoon in case I need to do it in the afternoon tomorrow?
Yes, I could do it in the afternoon also.
Okay, I'll see what's better for her because she was having her house fumigated, so I have to make sure she made it back in. I'll
Oh,
let you know a little later this afternoon, Daniela, okay?
okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.